Live from the Asbury Park Music Foundation, it's One More with Brian Erickson.
You ready? You ready?
Welcome to One More. I'm your host, Brian Erickson. Each week, we bring in two new guests, we sit them down at the table, and we find out why they do what they do. This week, of course, is no exception. We have in studio a band called 21 Kings and the people behind I Love Asbury. But first, and as always, Jesse McCormick.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, what's up? We're back.
We're back.
It's the first time in like 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
That's a good amount of time to have off. That's like kind of our own little summer vacation.
We did have a summer vacation, and like I was driving here, and I was really worried I was going to be late because I got stuck in the rain, and I was like, it feels like we're already back.
Feels like one more. Already.
Yeah, already.
So what did you do while we were on sabbatical?
I turned 25. That
Congratulations.
was cool.
Happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
Jesse.
Thank you. I also hosted Highland's first Pride Nights. That was very cool.
You had two of them, right?
Two of them, two Pride Nights.
How'd
and
they
I
go?
hosted oh my God, amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, the talent in those 2 days, just the entire bill, like I know I booked the bill, but like I didn't expect how beautifully both would kind of like meld together and kind of like I don't know, kind of happen, and just they were really, really beautiful nights.
Were those like the first shows you've really
First
kinda
shows I've ever
curated?
booked, yeah.
How'd that make you feel like when they were both done?
It's a screeching hell I've never experienced before. But there's some
Welcome to promotion.
Yeah, oh yeah. I have so much more and
you just
respect for promoters now.
Yeah, and you just did another one with
Rob
your
Taxpayer.
boy Rob from the Taxpayers
Yeah.
just a few nights ago.
Yeah, if we remember, because I think it's actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary of my interview on One
Your
More.
interview, yeah, or AKA your unofficial tryout.
Yeah, my unofficial tryout. But I was talking a lot on the interview about doing that musical last year, God Forgive These Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple months ago, Rob reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm trying to tour. Is there anywhere I can go that's near you? And I was like, there's a lot of places, but he wanted specifically a small place with a piano. So I brought him to the Waterwitch Coffee Shop. And it was an amazing night. You know, it was a smaller crowd, but it was a really intimate show. And like, he's such a bright and interesting person. He's so full of like kindness, and like he's an amazing storyteller, beautiful songwriter, and he's also just really funny. He closed out the night by like we ended up having a little kind of after party with like a song round. It was I didn't get to play the Waterwitch show, but at this little song round at the Chubby Pickle afterwards, it was Rob, me, Jeff Linden, and my friend Cortland Louise.
Cool.
It was a great round, but his last round, he was the first one to kind of go in the order. His last round, he was like, hey, I actually have to go to Brooklyn kind of right now, so I'm going to teach the three of you the chords to a song, and then we'll play it together. I think you'll know it. And it was Margaritaville. And so,
Oh my God.
yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Jeff soloed on it, and I was laugh screaming the whole time because I was just like not sure that it was happening. And then on the last chorus, he like kind of hugged all of us from behind, and then just left the pickle as we finished the song.
Oh wow.
It was.
What a way to.
I really am
kind
not
of
convinced
come
it
in,
happened.
Like, make this sort of whirlwind night happen, and then this dude to just like bail and like just go off into the night.
Like, it wasn't even an Irish exit. It was a grand exit. Like,
yeah,
it was
that's
just.
like, I wish I could exit the room even like half as charismatically.
It was really wonderful. I really hope he comes back into town soon so that more people can meet him, because he's one of the best.
Well, he's got an open invite here, and
Absolutely.
I'm sure, plenty of other places, Waterwitch, the Pickle, probably a hotel. I'm
Oh my
sure
God,
any
yes.
Saint.
Oh, we got to get, he's got a new project called the Trusty Snakes that I think would be really good at the hotel. It's kind of kind of country, folky kind of stuff, and it's really, really good.
Awesome.
Really, really good.
Well, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'll email him tonight.
Seriously. Oh
I
my
will,
God.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get him here and we'll get him at the. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we're gonna
make this
do it.
happen.
We're gonna do it.
But I think we're gonna make these guests happen first.
Yes,
So
let's do that.
They're a podcast team that is also. Sorry, they're a podcast team that has also curated a remarkably influential playlist of local artists and bands. Please welcome I Love Asbury.
Coming around.
Coming on around.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello and welcome. Oh,
Oh, all right. Yes.
yeah, here.
Yeah. Give him a mic.
Pop right over there.
Ken, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having us on.
Connor, how are you?
Hi.
Sorry about the two N's
Hello, Connor.
in the description.
Nice to meet you.
Everyone makes that mistake.
It's, you know what? I was going through the Night and Day magazine, just like scanning through yesterday. I was up at the beach riding my bicycle, and I'm just looking through, and I flip the page, and I'm playing at the Proving Ground in Highlands,
Okay, yeah.
and I see my name, but it's not my name. There's two Eds, and I'm like, oh, something I got to fight through. But
Well, you'd be you're the third Connor and the second with only one N in the name. So Connors with one N outnumber Connors with two N's that we've had on this show at least.
What was the other?
there you go.
Roy Orbitron, Connor Mira.
Oh, you're right.
This is
Okay.
prehistory. This is before your
Yeah.
This is before you were born.
I've actually seen Connor's name with 5 N's.
Oh yeah. Well, that is it's a more
That's
rare
true.
spelling, but I have seen it around.
I told him he should have different identities for the amount of N's he has in his name. when
Yeah,
they
I
misspell it.
charge more
It's like,
on the
3
gig.
N's,
The more
this is
N's.
like,
You should
high
add
end.
like one with like a tilde on top of it too.
That's like
Conure.
Cinco de Mayo gigs.
Conyor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. So one day, I Love Asbury didn't exist. Like it didn't exist, and then it kind of just popped up, and all of a sudden,
It flourished all over Facebook.
everybody starts sharing this.
Yeah.
And I know I was like, wait, what's this? How did this happen? Like, who are these people?
Yeah.
And that was, back in November, December, something
Yeah,
like that.
November, December.
Yeah. So, thank you for kind of finally coming out and putting faces.
Showing
to,
yourself.
Yeah.
No, it's
Showing
been awesome.
yourselves.
It's been awesome. I mean, it really started out as an idea over a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I had some free time. I had some situations where I had surgery, so I was housebound.
Okay.
And I was thinking how can I start, some of the things that we're working on. And one thing was the podcast and the playlist, because through the whole situation, a lot of the local musicians that I've kind of connected with photography,
Yeah.
really helped me out, and I kind of wanted to give back and bring some attention to the local scene,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you did a great job because,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, I mean, that spread like a brush fire.
It did.
How does it make you feel too that it caught the community, I don't know, in just the right way that immediately everybody kind of got on board with, sharing it and even you reaching out and saying, hey, if I missed anybody, tell me, kind of not just, oh, these are my 10 favorite, but just it kind of almost became like a community project in a way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's pretty much what I envision it being, is really community driven. So it was very surprising for me, and I'm very grateful for it happening, for everyone to kind of jump on board. I wasn't expecting that so fast. I wasn't really set up and prepared to do all those things, and it was great. I'm grateful for it. It was I think it really defines how Asbury is.
Yeah.
Though, and what I love about Asbury. It's everybody really does want to support each other. There's times where everyone's kind of looking for, their own little thing, but together we have one unifying purpose, and it's really to create experiences for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and that was kind of an interesting and unique experience, I think, for a lot of people to, just see something come out of the woodwork and catch on like that. So, how have things been since then?
Oh, it's been crazy. So, the podcast, we did a bunch of podcasts, and then Connor has been my friend and everything through the whole process. But then he just got a little bit more involved with it, and we kind of reevaluated how we want to go, and we decided that we really need a space
Yeah.
to facilitate a lot of the things that we're doing, independently as artists with like photography and video, and him as a musician, and the podcast. So it's kind of crazy how everyone has kind of opened themselves up to support it.
Yeah. So let's talk about that podcast for a minute, and then I know you kind of mentioned you're about a space, so we'll get to that. But yeah, you do a podcast where you kind of like you call up artists, you have it's about like 40 minutes, something like that conversation. What is that? Where do you get the content for the interviews? Because it feels just kind of like a normal conversation. Do you prepare? Do you have things for them? Do they tell you what's going on with them so that how's that usually go for you?
I actually, for me, I love a very organic approach. So most people that I've had on the podcast, I'm just like, what's your phone number? When are you available? I'm going to call. Do you mind me recording it? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, just call. It's cool. And sometimes there's a little bit of a moment of uncomfortableness, but I think that's really what life is about.
Yeah.
Like, I want that initial phone call to them to be real, and the conversations
Catch
to
them
be
off
real.
guard a little bit.
Yeah.
Get a real sense of who they are as a person.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And an artist, linking that up, because sometimes it's like there's a disconnect between the artistry and someone's personal life, which is very understandable. Everybody's like that.
Well, yeah, there is, I've had conversations about this. I mean, you and I have talked about things like this, just, off air and stuff, and even with other guests that we have, there's definitely a bit of a curation of personality among artists, I think.
Yeah.
What do you do to maybe, kind of build the bridge from either side of the cliff and at least, kind of get to the middle between the person that, the artist might want everybody to understand them as, and maybe, from the other side, like who they actually are, and how much about themselves they're willing to share.
Right. Yeah.
Like how do you try to kind of get those two things to meet, in a respectful way, in a way that you're not like prying too deep or anything.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah. Because like you want to keep people comfortable, but you want to, you want like thoughtful answers too. Do you have like a way of,
I just love to talk to people, so I could sense when someone's like avoiding something a little bit, so
Okay.
I kind of direct it in a certain way, because I think it's very important just within the creative process to start operating like pressure free as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let down your guard, and that even goes when you're getting to know someone.
Yeah. Unlike the extremely high pressure stakes that we have here.
Yeah, this is high pressure. There's a lot of lights on me.
Yeah.
Last time I had this many lights on me, I was just dancing on stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that
Really?
was when I was making money. A lot of money.
Okay. Wow. That
I don't know if that's
Are
OneMore
you-
certified, but
Oh, yeah.
Are we
no,
just going to
it's-
leave
that's
that
what-
alone,
yeah.
or
Yeah,
are we
I
going to? Okay.
it's part of the reason why I had all those surgeries.
Oh yeah. That's
I still have no idea how that's linked, but okay. No, I like the mystery.
Yeah, I
Keep
mean,
it there.
everything is supposed to be a little mysterious.
all right.
Like now you're going to be Googling my name.
That
you
answers
may find stuff.
That answers the question with the personal life and the artistry.
And the
Yeah.
artist-
Maybe
There you
that
go.
bridge was like too much.
There's the
No,
bridge.
no,
The bridge- I think. I think
That's
people
not
know that.
even like a lot by this show's standards. You're so fine.
So this might seem like kind of a cheeky question, but you put the playlist out, everybody's sharing it around and stuff like that. You're probably getting contacted by a lot of people. Like, did you make any new friends? Like, how did that improve your own relationship? I guess actually, yeah. It says you make any new friends. How did that improve your relationship to the community of artists?
I thought it was actually pretty crazy for myself because on the surface, like, when you walk into anything, community, any sort of like environment where you have, different people that are creating in different ways, and there's like these little cliques.
Yeah.
And, through the photography that I've done in Asbury and all over, like I kind of always have dealt with the same people. So as I launched the playlist and started learning about different bands that were out there, I was very surprised, like personally, because a lot of the musicians I didn't hear of. you know, as of yet. And I thought it was just a beautiful process. And as far as like, the relationships that have come from it, it's just been phenomenal because I feel like even connecting with them, even today, like with your talk, like we're forming a relationship here, and it's up to us to like cultivate it, see what direction it goes.
Oh yeah, no, you're not getting rid of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Never.
Once you
Trust
step into
me.
the lion's den.
Jesse,
You can't get rid of him. You're
she's been
stuck now.
trying to shake me for years.
Yeah.
yeah.
2
And it
years.
just doesn't-
Facebook said so the other day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 solid
You've been
years.
trying to get
Solid
shaken away
years.
by 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You should be.
No, I am not sorry for this in any fashion.
yeah. All jokes aside, as you were saying.
But so now, like Connor, you're a musician yourself. Do you find that you have an easy time kind of playing ambassador a bit, like to other musicians? Like, what do you do? What's your role here?
So what's cool for me is that Ken, am I right? You're not a musician. Is that correct?
I play certain things, but I don't think any of them are considered instruments.
Right. But it's it's nice when I talk to Ken about certain things, like from a musician's point of view. Like talking with other musicians, that's a certain kind of like mechanic talk we say, you know.
Yeah,
like
shop talk. Yeah,
shop talk, right? Talking shop, and Ken and I talk shop, but Ken has a different perspective because he understands the music and the energy and the vibes and all that, but he's not a musician. He is an artist. He's a photographer, you know.
Yeah, really great graphic design too.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
loved when the playlist was going up. You'd be like, "Yep, this under construction."
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you'd say like, "Oh, misspelled something," and then you have a picture of somebody like on a ladder
Yeah.
fixing the. It was really really neat, like and continually interactive to see it change every day almost.
Yeah.
At one point.
Ken's also a comedian.
Is he?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been known to throw
You got
little,
jokes?
little
You got
zingers
jokes?
out there. Not so much
Titan?
jokes, just like, you know, conversational, like we have a good time. You talk to all your friends about me.
Yeah.
It was so funny type of stuff.
Yeah.
Laughing at you, not with you, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, right?
But Connor and I are kind of like the odd couple, but the same, like because I share a lot of the same struggles, like as an artist,
Oh, of
as
course.
musicians, like, you know,
Yeah.
wanting your art, you know, valued at a certain level. And I can find a lot of what Connor goes through, other musicians go through. You know, it kind of hits home for me too.
Yeah, I mean, like my whole thing is like high quality.
Yeah.
So like that's my number one priority is like high quality, and then like marketing, advertising. That's almost like secondary. But like Ken is great with the marketing and the advertising, and then I'm very good with this vision and a standard of you know, great products. And that sounds a little cheesy, products, you know.
No, but I mean,
that's
we know
what
what
it is.
this
The
is.
art is
Yeah.
music, artwork. These are products and services.
Yeah.
You know. So it's kind of weird to package it together, but of course that's what we have to do to get it out there.
Yeah, of course.
know?
That's because I mean it's great to you know feel like the you know like you know you ever see Inside Llewyn Davis, you know, like the struggle for your, you know, to maintain that artistic integrity, and at the end it's like, well, I don't see any money in it. I don't see this going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's hard to continue with
and it's
it.
like you gotta sometimes not compromise your integrity, but like you gotta kind of be able to move a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you know, yeah, you realize that like the Beatles made products, the Beach Boys made products, you know, Diana Ross and Aretha Franklin, they made products. Like if people didn't buy their music, nobody would know, you know, nobody would know who they were.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're just, you know, here's a song, like, I hope I make some money. It's
Right.
just, yeah, like if people didn't consume it, nobody know who anybody was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like it's keeping it honest. You got to try to keep what you do honest and genuine.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll sell. I think not because you're like pushing it a certain way, but because that's what people want.
pick up on honesty. Like
Yeah.
people pick up on a genuine, you know, people pick up on genuine interest or genuine sort of intrigue versus like, you know, a little bit of acting, a little, like we said before, a little bit of persona goes into everything, but you know, people know when you know, when you write a song versus like when you write a song to try and fit a specific
Yeah.
mood or something like that, or kind of launch a podcast for, purposes of exposure versus purposes of community enrichment.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, it's legit about building a community and creating a platform that everyone could be somewhat involved in and influence the progress of it when it comes to like the podcast and the playlist and giving people opportunities to get some exposure. And like we were talking about with our podcast, it's really about getting to know not what you see within social media about the artist, but like legit who the artist is as a person.
Proving
Like if I
yourself
was hanging out with Connor and we're talking, like that's the way we want it to be.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of the Jerky Boys. That's like the whole calling thing.
Oh, Saul
You know?
Rosenberg.
Yeah. So like just having the ringing to me is just like, oh, this makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. Like every time it's like that we're back to the Jerky Boys.
God, I'm not gonna do my Saul impression. I swear.
Just hold it in.
What's that?
Hold it in.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I say go for it, but
I can't have that.
Yeah.
All right, so
There he is.
we only have a couple minutes left. That was the worst impression.
It really was. Yeah. It was very
half-assed,
small. It's just.
So, but we only have a couple minutes left. I want to talk about the relaunch because you started talking about kind of a physical space. I want to make sure we dedicate a little bit of time to that before we get out of here. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
You two out the floor. What do we got?
Yeah, so we actually found a space in Asbury. We're just finishing up renovations, about like 2 to 3 weeks away. So we're going to have the I Love Asbury podcast there. And, Connor and I are going to be facilitating that, similar vibe. We may actually end up having a couple more guests, like kind of like more of the pass-through type of thing than rather just one phone call. But it's great. It's on the West End. We're excited about it. We're actually going to be opening it up to like other people, like creatives that want to start their own podcast, like network with us. Like if you're just starting out, reach out to us. We really want to start creating that platform for people to engage with us. Because ultimately, like I Love Asbury is not me and Connor, in my opinion. Like that portion of it, it's like everyone. Like as a whole, we could like legit create a movement and get a lot of the things that we've been working towards independently together.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent and potential out there, and like it's hard to like even get a gig in Asbury as a band. Now that's from a musician's point of view. So like on the podcast, gonna have musicians come on and other artists. And
What I find is it's easy. I've had an easier time. I don't know about you. I mean, you're way cool. You and Chris are infinitely cooler. And I mean that sincerely. I've had an easier time getting shows since this.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like I have to email somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm Brian. How are you? I'm fine. Like I play guitar." It's like, let's have it, and there's no like, "Hey, you came here, so how about you have me on this?" Like it's more like, "Hey, you just find out after talking shop for a little bit."
yeah.
And then like I guess you create a space for engagement, not transaction.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the community had been lacking. But I think, if I could compliment this program and Matt, our director and stuff, in the spirit of being back, I think that's something that this program strives to do, and something that clearly you two gentlemen are working toward, another place like Fourth Wave and stuff like that.
I think that if I may.
And also the building we sit in, the music foundation itself.
For sure.
Sorry about that one, Jim.
No, I had a thought of like, I think like the podcast market, especially nowadays, is like so oversaturated. And I think that this one in particular, just from how you've both been describing it, is a very important one to make. So I think that the fact that you are making it in this market, in this community, it's just like there's so many angles that you're attacking this project with, and like, oh, this is something that's building the community. This is an extra story that like people will want to hear in this market, and kind of in the smaller scale of artists around here, and in the bigger scale of, oh wow, maybe I can't make it to like the East Coast, but like this is what's going on here. And I think that I don't know. That's just a thought I had. I thought it was.
Well, that's
I think
what's
it's really
about
cool
it.
about
I
it. Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of
Because a
course.
lot of people from in Asbury that have been reaching out. I had a guy reach out to me from like the UK, recorded at Lake House, and was like, "Oh my God, it's all so awesome that you have a playlist."
Yeah.
So a lot of people come here and they take what the experiences that they've had here and they want to kind of rekindle it, even though they're not still here.
Take a
and
little
that's-
bit of that magic.
Yeah, so it's nice to
Yeah.
have that. And what you guys are doing is awesome too.
Yeah,
We appreciate
definitely.
you guys having us on here.
Well, I mean, that's, whatever help we can offer, as you all, kind of continue your move.
And
just
grow
let us
and-
know if we can do anything to help.
Awesome.
You
We
know.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the space and seeing the entire project grow and get even bigger and more accepted and excited, people excited about it.
Awesome. And if you're an Asbury Park musician and you're not on the playlist, don't take offense to it. Just reach out to me because I don't know all the bands yet. I mean, they're like popping up left and
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and
It's a learning experience for you too, and I think that's what makes
Yeah.
it even more kind of exciting to see. Yeah.
cool.
Excellent. So we got to get out of here. We got to move on. But before we do, let our viewers know where they can find you. Where can they find the playlist? Where can they find the podcast? Anything like that? Any
Perfect.
web-based stuff you got? Let them know.
Cool. So everything I Love Asbury. So like on Spotify, you'll find the podcast and the playlist under I Love Asbury. Our website's iloveasbury.com. Our Instagram's at I Love Asbury. So basically, I started. This is the
Consistent
secret.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to start a business that I don't ever have to have business cards for. I Love Asbury. It's like if you
That's
can't
it.
remember I Love Asbury when you walk away to reach out to me. It's
Yeah.
That's
It's not meant to
that's
be.
excellent.
So, yeah. So everything's I Love Asbury,
Good enough.
and there's
Fair
there's also a secret site I Love Connor, if you want to
Okay.
email that.
That's more of a personal collection.
But the website, the I Love Connor, actually Connor with 4 N's.
It redirects to I Love Asbury.
One of the ends has an umlaut over it. No, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Wow. Yeah. No, you have to be
Yeah.
from the Nordic.
It's a
region.
very personal collection, which is why the umlaut's there.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
Connor, Ken, thank you so much.
Thank you.
iloveasbury.com.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
Take it easy. All right, Jesse, let's do some ads.
I have an ad read.
Do we?
Here it is. OneMore is sponsored by You Don't Know Jersey. Owned and operated by Alice and Ed Maziak, You Don't Know Jersey has been bringing its readers all the best Garden State sports, music, art, film, and culture for nearly a decade. Hey, Connor, do you want to know who bakes the best Polish rye in all of Trenton? Yeah. He said yes. So if you're in High Point, Cape May, or anywhere in between, visit youdon'tknowjersey.com. You Don't Know Jersey. Laughing into the abyss of our meaningless lives with pork roll and local music since 2010. I can't believe I
Ed
made
wrote
it through
one.
that without
Ed wrote that one.
breaking.
Ed wrote that one.
I had to
So
take a
I'm
very
just-
big breath before reading that to not laugh in the middle of it.
That's okay. Do we do a second ad read yet? What do we do? Well,
Yeah.
no, not yet. I forget.
Can. Or maybe we won't.
We got 3 ads.
We do have 3 ads, but I usually do 2 before.
What's that? All right, you
More
wanna
is
do
also
another one?
sponsored by Bordentown Guitar Rescue. Founded by certified luthier Mike Vierock, Bordentown Guitar Rescue has been building, modifying, customizing, and repairing stringed instruments since 2012. Why wait a month for a basic setup from one of the big retailers when Bordentown Guitar Rescue has the quickest turnaround in the state? So whether you've split your headstock, your board is pitted, or your jacks are dusty, call certified luthier Mike Vierock for an estimate. Bordentown Guitar Rescue. Fix it, Vierock. Cool. We did it.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we did 2 ads. There we
Let
are.
us introduce the winners of the JC Studios Battle of the Bands. Their latest release, Daily Grind, is available wherever music can be streamed. Let us welcome 21 Kings.
I'm scooting.
All right.
Hello.
All right.
This is one of your mics.
Brave the storm.
Yes,
I'm hopping
welcome.
over here. Yeah, you're gonna be right in the middle, front and center.
All right. 21 Kings. Well, your highnesses. What,
Yeah,
can't get behind the bit? Jesse, can't get behind the bit?
didn't
Chris
re-
isn't here this week,
Yeah,
and
look, I just-
somebody's got to do bits this
Look,
week.
I couldn't get behind the bit. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't have anything to add to it. You're gonna have to let that one just.
All right, I'm just letting it go. All right. So, first off, congrats on winning that Battle of the Bands. That's
thanks a
pretty
lot.
cool.
Yeah, it's-
How many acts were you up against?
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Had to be at least 10,
10?
or 12.
Yeah.
Maybe 12.
around 10. Yeah.
Might have been
It
14.
was an all
actually.
day kind of. Each band did what, 3 songs, and it was like all
Yeah.
day. So yeah,
Yeah.
probably like a dozen or dozen-ish.
Was there like a
Sorry, we
there-
didn't do our research before.
No.
No,
Yeah,
that's
very
fine.
unprepared.
We barely do our research.
Since when do we do research? We
Never.
can't fault you for
Almost
that.
never.
Yeah.
So, what has that done for you in terms of opportunity,
Well,
like thus far?
yeah, we got to do a lot of cool things off that. We got to do this, most importantly.
Yeah.
That's right,
which
the
was-
winner.
Yeah, which was a long time coming. We kind of were off cycle with you guys with this being the first episode of the season, I understand, and but we did already do a few cool things. We had a show at FM in Jersey City.
Oh, I love that place.
That was
It's
Yeah.
that was a great show. We also did some other stuff with Neil Sabatino. He's been hooking it up for us along the way, giving us
He's-
some good guidance.
He was actually our first guest. Our summer season, that's July of last year. Neil was the first guest new season a year ago. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a totally super wise indie rock dude.
He's like a sage.
Yeah, he dropped a lot of truth bombs on us. So
Yeah, we just played with him
Yeah, we
last
just played
Friday
another
at
show,
Stosh's.
Oh, cool.
yeah, this past weekend we were up there
In
in
Fairlawn.
I will actually be at Stosh's this Saturday. My band will be there. Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
great,
Nice.
great. Yeah, that place rocks.
Yeah, it's cool. They're doing like a little outdoor deal. So yeah,
cool.
but it's
Oh,
cool. They get
outdoor.
a nice vibe there.
Yeah, got the craft beers going,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
rock and
That will
roll,
be-
you know.
Nice little spot,
And
loud.
the pool table.
And yeah, the pool table in the
Yeah.
back.
Oh yeah.
Hustle a few chumps
Yeah.
back there.
That's it. Yeah, we sharking. Is that what we're
That's
doing?
what we went for.
That's what you
Yeah.
did
We
to me.
said we went for the gig, but
You went
Yeah,
to.
we
went to
Went
hustle
to-
chumps.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
That's what we do. We're half band, half street gang, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
It all comes out here on one
Yeah.
more.
1950 street gang.
It's
you know,
okay.
just
I
that
was
kind
gonna
of
say I
stuff.
kind of want to say something about like suck at MCs, but
No, like a
No,
like
no.
a proper with
Yeah,
a trench
like
coat.
a-
West Side Story style.
Got it.
Oh, okay, that was a different
lot of-
aesthetic I was
with-
going
it's similar,
for.
They do a lot. You guys do a lot of snapping
Yeah.
when you communicate with your
I was
rivals.
thinking more Humphrey
We're big on
Bogart. They were
that.
going more Sondheim, which I'm way more on board with, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our old band, was the Pecan Sandies, and then we transitioned over to 21 Kings.
Yeah.
So we were a doo-wop group before that. Yeah.
So your most recent record, and I know you guys are gonna play something off that mostly newer stuff because your most
Yeah.
recent record's about 2 years old now.
Yeah, well, we put one out after, which was a little more under the radar. We only put it on Bandcamp.
Okay.
Which
I
was,
was just
again,
going
we didn't
Spotify.
help you
Yeah.
guys out at all for this. That's,
No,
that's
no,
kind
that's
of our
okay.
style.
No,
Just
no,
kidding.
that's sort of my fault.
Yeah, no, no,
to
it's
not
cool.
have.
That one, we didn't do the big promotion for that one. We did it completely ourselves. So we just sort of got in the basement and started with the drums and everything, and
Yeah.
we just released that one directly to Bandcamp. But now we're moving towards the next big thing, which is our
Bunch of
first
releases.
full length.
Full length
big.
album.
That's big.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the
About 12
EP
or 15
thing
songs.
for a while, but it's
Told
time
them,
to
yeah,
go
too.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had some talks with Neil about that as well. Try to go full length record,
Yeah.
get a little bit more professional.
Are you guys on
Sure.
mid 400 now,
No.
or
No,
you're just
no,
kind of
no.
like working with him a little bit, or getting a little advice?
Well,
or-
getting
Getting
advice, taking just notes of whatever he gives us, suggestions, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's been helpful in that way. And one of the good things he tipped us off to was just, EPs are great, and we're in a world where everyone can kind of record themselves nowadays, and if you know how, and even if you don't,
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't take that much
especially
knowledge.
if you don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a weird.
I wish Chris were here, our other co-host, because then we could talk about his
Yeah.
EP.
Yeah. What was? Oh God.
I don't know.
I'm intrigued now.
No,
Right.
it's
Something
No.
like Dave Grohl covers trying to get sued.
Yeah, something like
Trying to
that.
get sued. I don't know. Is,
Yeah.
Is Dave the suing?
Well, that's not
No,
even a
he's not
cover. He
Dave. No,
I don't think
actually
he is,
just
yeah.
suing type.
uploaded like a Foo Fighters
label,
song,
on the
like
other hand.
not
Yeah,
edited or
RCA.
anything, to see if someone would notice. That was his thing, right?
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, that was the
That
thing.
was the bit.
Okay.
But so yes, some people know how to record, some people don't. You do, but we're talking about the virtue of full-length albums.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I was just gonna say, the EP thing is good because every time we got a few songs together, from when we first started this
Just
band
kinda-
onwards. We did like 4 songs, recorded 5, and then we did 6, I think.
Yeah, I think
We
there
started
were-
with 6.
Yeah.
No, we started with 5.
Five.
Then we did 6.
Yeah.
Then
I
we just
should-
did 4.
I
on
should
this
know
one.
these things.
Yeah.
And then the last one was just 4 because we wanted to get another release out right around. I think we did it after the Battle of the Bands.
Right.
Okay.
I think right
Okay.
after.
Right about
yeah.
that time, yeah.
Got that out the door.
Nice.
So now we've been sitting on a big pile of songs. I think we're going to play 2 of them
2 brand new ones, yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And then there's like maybe, a dozen or so in total. So we decided we're going to forget the little EP thing for now and just save them up. And we're doing it all ourselves. So we got our plan laid out of recording. We're going to start that in a couple weeks. So excited
Excellent.
to
That's
get
really
some new
exciting
music
to
going.
embark on something like that.
Yeah,
Always cool,
absolutely.
yeah.
New music's always good, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're listening to your songs. You kind of come at it with these like relatable themes. You're working a job, making ends meet, stuff like that. What do you feel you bring to that perspective that is unique?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I'll just comment. I'll let Stefan. He was the mastermind of Daily Grind, which
Okay.
was that last one, which is what you mentioned. But I was just going to say it's an interesting theme of that one, which is that all the songs relate to the daily
The
grind.
Daily Grind, yeah. It
of
was almost
whether
like
it's-
it felt like kind of like a concept record in a way.
Almost.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
across different things. Like there's one is the the dull sort of 9 to 5 existence, and then
We turn it around with Concrete Sleep, which is the exact opposite. It's about being homeless on the streets.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Too
You
Far
know.
Gone is about battling like addiction. Photographs is your typical pop punk little love, the suffering of innocent love.
Because what happens is, like, I'll bring a song, he'll bring a song, and then it kind of
We
just all
sorta
comes together.
Steered them together.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ooh.
As we
And-
wrote
and
the
ra-
lyrics
yeah.
stuff, we say this is a good opportunity, and Daily Grind was the title track there as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a fun album to do.
But to your question of where do we
EP.
bring to that? Yeah, we're like an intersectional group of guys in the
Well,
sense
it's
that
also two brothers.
yeah, we're brothers.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Like-
adopted.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you childhood friends.
Yes.
Two
Yeah.
brothers,
Go to-
and you guys have
Absolutely.
known
Yeah.
each other for how many years? Well, you guys have.
Forever.
How much
Yeah.
have you known
We go way back.
them?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, John. It's got to be since.
We first 9th grade Spanish class.
We knew each other before that, though. I think even
well,
like
yeah.
7th grade.
That's when we hit it off.
Yeah,
9th grade
ninth grade.
Spanish class. We
And
were
you're all graduating this. It's July. You just graduated this past June. Right?
Oh yes.
The three of you.
I'm getting.
Oh,
going
yeah,
off
yeah.
to college now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's only a couple years,
Yeah.
about 3-4 years.
That's it. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna.
What's your major?
I'm
What's
gonna
your major?
actually, I'm gonna actually study music now.
Right, yeah.
Play my instrument.
Be nice, yeah.
But it's just what I was going to comment on. You asked about like how we bring to the
Yeah.
is that we kind of each have a different approach towards that of the daily grind aspect of we got different jobs and it's cool to have a different perspective. Also musically, we all have different tastes, which we bring to the
Yeah, amount
songs
of
as well.
genres is just mind-bending.
It's like a big
Yes.
clash. We can't really decide what we want to stick to genre-wise, but it works out. So we bounce from like heavy rock, then it's pop punk, then it's a pop song, then it's like
And then it's folk.
yeah, country,
great.
whatever.
I feel like you guys probably
PG reggae
It almost
theme.
feels like you guys like took a look at because I think the next question was about like influences or something like that. I kind of wanted to toss that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If Jesse, if you want to kind of take over, ask a few.
Yeah. So, I guess what inspires you to create when you don't feel like you have kind of the need to say anything else? Like, what kind of gets you going?
Yeah.
It's a good-
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah,
You were talking about how we all start up with pieces and.
Yeah, like I'll like grab an acoustic guitar and it's just like I'm sitting hanging out and I'll just fiddle with something and then something hits and locks and I'm like, okay, that's good. Record it. It just comes to me. I don't know. Like it's but the lyrics and the idea behind it, he's great at that and so is he. Like I'll bring some instrumentals, but yeah.
Well, it's
really
interesting.
hard.
Steve's like our little Don Henley because normally the drummer in most bands is kind of like just the drummer. Maybe you're a Neil Peart and you're
Yeah.
writing lyrics and all this, but
Yeah.
Steve actually writes a lot, brings a lot of the riffs and stuff as well because he started with guitar and was
Nice.
in another band as well. So we're leveraging his drum skills, but also the songwriting.
Songwriting too, yeah.
Especially this last batch, we really sort of each came with like either a riff or like half a song, and then we sit down, do it old school, and say, you know, let's bounce
Figure
off
out
each
what goes
other.
where.
What about this melody?
Right.
And now with, you know, the ability of the in-home recording, we can
Yeah.
record a demo, send it over. He can put on a solo. We can mix it up, and it's about as good time as it can be technology-wise
Right.
to.
Because we done the whole like we went to the studio and it was like super
started with
expensive.
that.
Yeah.
And
And
it was
then
also the way he was kind of mixing and mastering and producing the sound. It wasn't really what
we wanted in
we
a way.
wanted in that sense.
So then we were like,
he was
"We'll do it
more
on our own."
he was more of a jazz guy, and his jazz stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But when it came to just rock and hard rock, there was a little bit of miscommunication with it.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's kinda hard.
unfortunate when you can't get on the same wavelength as the person that you're really kind of trusting your art
That's exactly
and your
right,
work
right.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had not, you know, like kind of limited experience personally, but sometimes you get somebody that will vehemently tell you, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
But then you're like, no, I think I'm gonna.
I wanna do
wanna
that.
that.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
'Cause
And
that
not
was-
even in like a stubborn way, but like
No.
I've had you know, experiences where they've said, well, it should be, you know, you're bringing me a demo. It's like, no, actually, I've got like 5 different, you know, this has been worked up over, and there's
Exactly.
been, you know, it's been edited from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and
Right.
like here, and it, sometimes do you find sometimes with people like that you. It's you feel like you kind of got to defend your process a bit.
Yeah, right. Like we were
absolutely.
kind
We
of.
had to.
Yep.
On even one of the first songs that we really recorded, Instant Gratification, like we couldn't figure out the tone properly with
Yeah.
that.
Which is major, you know, we're a 3-piece rock band, so
Yeah.
we don't even really often lay in like a second guitar. We just go like power trio style. So
Wow.
like,
Right.
you can't get that good like solid, you know, punchy guitar.
We would show them examples of like bands. We were like, let's make it sound like this.
That's a good
to a
move.
certain extent, like, you know, because we would show them examples, and you go, oh no, that doesn't sound good, and we're like, well,
That's
we
the sound we're looking
we
for.
want that, so
But we learned
you
over
know.
time too to figure that out ourselves.
Yeah.
And with a little timeline, our first EP, we did it completely in the studio. We had the songs, went in there, pretty much knocked it out, and then didn't have that much room to build on top of it as much, from a cost perspective especially. The second
Right.
one, we knew
That's
it was going to
always-
be expensive, and it was more songs
Right.
than the last. So we decided to we learned a lot on our own.
Yeah, and we
recorded it there.
we tracked
and
it,
then
yeah,
we mixed it
and brought
did
it
all
and
the
did it to
editing
our
ourselves.
place. Yeah,
I think we did vocals too ourselves.
yeah, we
That-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
just the
Yeah.
instrumentals. Yeah,
And then, you know, we bought some equipment, and we
I
learned a
thoroughly
lot.
enjoy that, like the
YouTube is a
recording
good
part of
tool.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
YouTube is
Love
a great
YouTube.
learning tool.
YouTube.
All you
Yeah.
out there,
YouTube
Never heard of it.
sponsor.
Yeah.
I never heard of it. And then for the latest one, we did it completely ourselves, and for this one coming up, we want to do it completely ourselves. So
Kind of been working up to.
Doing it, yeah, fully
the
Yeah.
confidence
learning some
and,
stuff.
You know,
Yeah,
it's never
That's
going to
awesome.
be, you know, as good as a $1 million studio, but it can get you can get closer to the sound you want, and you're also not as limited. You know, what we found too is being in a studio is that, you know, if you're on a budget, there's not a lot of time. It kind of stifles your creativity.
Yeah.
You have to go in with a super completed idea. You have to know what
Yeah.
every guitar
Exactly
overdub
what
is
you're
gonna be.
doing, right.
When we did it ourselves, we had the whole song tracked, and we're like, I don't really think the lead guitar is working. And then, like, even though we recorded the vocals and everything, we were able to make a new lead. Like, you just couldn't.
Yeah,
you're
you
only
just go back
wasting
and
your
do it.
own
Money,
time.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not.
That's
so.
awesome.
Yeah,
Someday.
that'd be nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe if this next record
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
does.
we're starting it right here, right
Yeah.
now.
Well, because
Right.
like we just said with the I Love Asbury, guys,
Yeah.
it's like you're finding that balance between kind of making a salable product and, you know, maintaining a level of integrity,
Right.
you know, with, like you said, working with a jazz producer, and you're essentially, you know, kind of like a punk or a rock, not punk rock, but like
Yeah,
punk
definitely
influence,
in our
like rock
roots.
trio.
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe that's not the best fit, and maybe they just don't see how you could, that guy wouldn't see what you see in terms of like, yeah, there are people who would buy this or who would stream this or who would come see this live. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
there's, you know, there's
But
virtue in that.
Yeah, to go back to what they were saying about like it was hard to like find shows and like Asbury. I wanted to like touch on that.
Well,
and
talk
it's
to
hard.
them, talk
yeah,
to them after
it's
this.
it's
Like,
it's hard. It's hard everywhere. Like
Get
and
on that playlist.
Jersey, all of it's a lot of the places are like pay to play, and who wants that?
Yeah.
Unless we had some experiences at the Pony. We love the Saint. The Saint's a great venue here. We played there a few times.
Yeah. We were just hanging out there the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No
hard.
plug.
We found something else we learned is that it's really best to just go for your DIY kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get a few
Oh,
other
yeah.
bands together. Everyone's more passionate about it. Everyone brings out a group, do like a record release, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping to do for this next one. And then you're less at the mercy of these venues. Not that any particular venue has been terrible to us, but it's just better when you're doing it yourself because
Always.
more
And then they're willing to go. Oh, they
worry
have
about
3
tickets
bands,
and stuff
right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because then you kind of go in with a little bit of a little bit of mojo, a little bit of power, and say, "Oh
Right.
yeah, we got this. This is what you can expect from us. This is what you can expect from these people." And in a way, like I've done some promoting too, and a good venue will tell you, "Okay, this is kind of what we're expecting to do tonight, like money-wise, food-wise, if it's that kind of place, drink-wise, obviously."
Yeah.
So make sure when you consider who you want to have here that you consider what we need to like keep the lights on and
Exactly.
keep,
Yeah.
keep the staff getting paid and like order another round of kegs for for the taps like,
Yeah.
like those things are important.
We try to have all of our fans drink as much as possible. At our show.
Yeah.
How rock and roll of
First,
you.
so they can
Right.
Usually don't
understand the
have to
music.
ask them to.
Right. Yeah. We don't have to ask.
Yes,
So
we will
Just get on the-
volunteer to do
Get on the
this.
mic.
Right.
Please drink more. Just
Yeah, tip those bartenders
Yeah,
while you're at it too.
Yeah.
And that way there's a certain, at least the venue feels like they're getting, like you said, that agreement of like, hey, you're bringing some people in here. Are people going to sort of
And then they
spend
want
a
to.
dollar?
There's
And they
like
wanna
a
have you back.
There's like a
Right. It is
mutual
business.
support there.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that gets lost. And like maybe younger bands is like, oh, come on, just let us play. Just let us play. Like we're good.
Yeah.
But good doesn't always mean viable. Like you gotta kind
Right.
of figure, you gotta sort of figure a way how to like hold each other's hand and kind of
Mutually beneficial
earn that trust.
yeah, for
Event.
sure.
So as we
Right.
wrap up, we're gonna get a 4-song performance
Yeah.
from 21 Kings. You want to tell
Yes, sir.
our viewers where they can find
Yeah, just I
some of
guess
this music?
into this one right here.
There you go.
Yeah, all of our stuff is on Bandcamp. It's also on Spotify, pretty much all of it.
And I think it's YouTube now too, right?
We got a lot on YouTube. You
And
can
now
check
Check
out
out our
our
the singles
Facebook,
come
our
up, yeah.
Instagram, all that stuff, of
at
course.
21 Kings on Instagram.
Everything 21 Kings, yeah.
And you should also check out our website for everything, 21kingsband.com.
Right.
Great. Let's
Yeah.
Jesse, you want to do some ads and then
Cool.
get set
I'll do
up?
the one ad that we have left, which is like the big one, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Save the best for
guys
last.
set up.
Yeah, get y'all set up. Get your little, get your stool over there.
Sounds
Yep, yep.
Wow, thanks, Jesse.
OneMore is brought to you by the Asbury Park Music Foundation. APMF raises money to support youth music programs throughout Asbury Park that provide lasting skills, self-confidence, and life-changing experiences for underserved kids in our community. This includes funding for the Hip Hop Institute at the Boys and Girls Club of Monmouth, in-school music production programs at Hope Academy, and you're excused, and scholarships for kids to attend Lake House Music Academy. APMF also hosts concert series throughout the... Yeah, I know you're... He's not very graceful either. No, this is good. We're like stalling because I only have the one ad to read this time. Well, yeah. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Don't tell him I said that though. A giant what now?
Goof steak.
I don't like that. Goof steak? APMF also hosts concert series throughout the year, whether it's Music Mondays at Springwood Park, Asbury Park Live over the summer, Suburbia Friday nights, or the Sunday Songwriter Series. APMF always has something going on. Check out their calendar for more details. And if you're interested in making a meaningful difference in the community or just keeping Asbury Park's legacy of music alive, head to asburyparkmusiclives.org to make a donation. And while you're there, pick up a Music Saved Asbury Park t-shirt. All proceeds make it possible to support Music Saved My Life youth music programs. There's the ad read. And are we ready? Are we ready? Oh, sweet. All right. Well, I'm going to hand off this mic, and I want everyone to give it up for 21 Kings.
I think yes. I'll use my. There we go. Okay, sure. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay, I think we're gonna start with photographs. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds
All right,
good
this
to
is
me.
one of our songs off Daily Grind. This one is called Photographs.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Just go, she said as she slammed the door on me. She locked the door, threw away the key. Alone, I look back on the good times we've had. Where did we go wrong?
Looking through the photographs, I think back towards our happy past, and
I don't want to say
goodnight.
lately. It's been crazy, but I know everything will be alright. Oh, my dear, how we ever fall so far from grace. Let's take it back to a better place. Oh, I know we can make it if we try again. We gotta keep things real.
Looking through the photographs, I think back towards our happy past, and
I don't want to say
goodnight.
it's been crazy, but I know everything will be alright. And lately it's been crazy, but I know everything will be alright.
Looking through the photographs, I think back towards our happy past, and
I don't want to say
goodnight.
and lately it's been crazy, but I know everything will be alright. All right, thank you.
Tamarindo.
Rindo.
All right, this is a fun little one from our latest release, Things I Couldn't Say. It's about a little beachy town called Tamarindo.
I know.
We settle down into another day. Lay on the beach and listen to the waves. All our problems seem so far away. Let's take a moment, 'cause I wanna stay. So I'll say, live in the moment, let's enjoy tonight. We'll be together till the morning light. All our problems seem so far away. Just take a minute, 'cause I wanna stay. Let's take the band and they are playing our song. When we're together, there is nothing that's wrong. You take my hand and the night is ours. Your eyes remind me of the shining stars. So please, let's take this slow. 'Cause I don't wanna go. Whoa, 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 I've always loved you and I always will. When we're alone, it feels like time stands still. Cherish these moments for the rest of my life. Just us together in this paradise. So let's just live in the moment, let's enjoy tonight. We'll be together till the morning light. All our problems seem so far away. Just take a minute, 'cause I wanna say that please, let's take this slow. 'Cause I don't wanna go. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Here are your events for the week of July 22nd. Monday, July 22nd. Happy birthday, Jerry from the Brixton Riot, Doug from Van Saters, and to Soph. Tonight we've got Switch Mob, Chris Rockwell, Black Suburbia, and Experiment 34 at the Wonder Bar. It's happening right now. If you're watching this on your phone, please keep watching it on your phone while you're driving there, because Matt Smith says it's okay. Oh, it's so good to be back, isn't it? Oh, it's so good to be back. Tuesday, July 23rd, happy birthday, Q from the Brian Hansen Band, and to Angie Sugrim, one of the straight-up best people in all of Asbury Park. We've got Where's Tino, Jack, and Michael Brett at the Downtown, 7 p.m., and Jackie June at Rockwood Music Hall at 8:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 24th, Black Suburbia, Blaze, and Pam Flores at Asbury Live at the First Avenue Green Space at 6:30 p.m. And then we've got Red Pants Presents, Jackson Pines, Amanda Duncan, and our sweet adult infant, Chris Dubrow, at the Asbury Hotel at 8 p.m. Maybe Brian will play a little bit too, who knows? Who cares? Thursday, July 25th. We know, Brian. We know you write them. Thursday, July 25th. Happy birthday, Ben from We're Ghosts Now. You guys killed it at the Saint on Saturday. I love you, spooky boy. Speaking of the Saint, Rachel Anna Dobkin will be celebrating the release of her new music video, Always, with Cranston Dean Band and Illiterate Light at 7:30. Go there. Or you could also go to Joe Gallupo, Jared Napick, and Josh Levinsky at Barca City at 8:30 p.m. And then Friday, July 26th, we got Connor Bracken and the Mother Leeds Band, Pamela Flores and Jeff Linden and the Black Spot Society at Langosta Lounge at 8 p.m. And then we've got Arlen Files and Andrew Vladik at the Fox and the Falcon. No, I know. I was just asking. I was just giving you the look to see maybe you knew how to pronounce it and I didn't. The Fox and the Falcon at 9 p.m. And then on Saturday, July 27th, we've got competing outdoor daytime music festivals. We've got El Chino Presents The Foes of Fern, The Godlings, We're Ghosts Now, Junk Food, Alex Galliastro, Venus Envy, Puppy Grease, Mike Brody and the People versus the People, and Dan Appy at Jackson Moose Lounge, and that starts at 12 noon. And then at the same time, we've got Min 400 Records presents Stosh's Fantastic 4th Anniversary Festival, featuring Abrupt, The 65s, Scary Hours, Guilty Giraffe, New Narratives. You wrote New Barratives. That's how we know Brian writes these. Ruby Bones and the Extensions. That's Brian's band. And Goddamn Foxan. And that's at Stosh's in Fairlawn at 12 noon. The Mercury Brothers are playing Seafarer Bar at 7 p.m. That's in Highlands. Ella Ross Nude Shoes. And as always, at the Whitechapel Projects at 7 p.m. The Afraid Brigade will be releasing their new EP, Feel the Sunshine, at the Asbury Park Brewery at 7 p.m. It's so good. Go listen to it. It's on Bandcamp right now. I was listening to it in the shop today. Tide Bends at Asbury Park Yacht Club, wow, at 9 p.m. And then close out your weekend on Sunday, July 27th with the Foes of Fern at the Seafarer Bar. Those are the events for the week. Without further ado, I give you the rest of the set of 21 Kings.
All right, this is a brand new one that's going to be on our upcoming album. This one's called Radio Days.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember all the dreams we had in the radio days? Back when all we really cared about were the songs that were playing. When we were young before those years faded away. Those restless times, the radio days. Back in 99 at 10 years old, I was young and free. When K-Rock and Shock Jocks played on 92.3. Life was so simple, we never knew any other way. Those wild times, the radio days. Those years are far behind us, but they're still bright in my mind. Back when we were young and free, oh yeah, the radio days.
At 17, you'd find us hanging out in the parking lot. We blast the stereo and cause a scene without a second thought. Rocking out and laughing as we cruise down the highway. Those wild nights and radio days. All those years are far behind us, but they're still bright in my mind. Back when we were young and free, oh yeah, the radio days. Those years are far behind us, but they're still bright in my mind. Back when we were young and free, oh yeah, the radio days. All right, thank you.
Drop 'em.
And this is going to be our last song. Just let the boys get into their little drop D tuning here. We're not usually an acoustic band, very much electric. So we're making a little change here. All good? This one's called Broken. It's going to be the first one off our upcoming album.
Probably first single.
Yep.
I think so. Yep.
And I hope you guys like it.
Here comes day to day. Try to smile and hide it all away.
I know there's truth behind the lies, the agony that's in your eyes, but please don't know that you're a failure.
And all the weight comes crashing through.
Remember that I'm always here for you.
Don't feel so broken. I know you're hoping that we can work things out. Stop all the fighting. I'll hold you tightly. Trust me, life will be better soon. To get up seems so hard. To face another day when you're on guard.
You don't have to feel
Trust me, life will be better soon. Let's take a moment. My doors are open. I don't want to leave so soon. Take in the silence. Your fire is dying. Know that I'll remember you. Don't feel so broken. I know you're hoping that we can work things out. Stop all the fighting. I'll hold you tightly. Trust me, life will be better soon. Hold on. Hold on.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
21
guys.
Kings.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Not
having
an
us.
acoustic band?
Thank you
Like,
so
you
much,
could have
man.
fooled
Thank
us.
you.
Like, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you too.
Where's my camera, Matt? Awesome. Where is it?
Thank you.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, 21 Kings, I Love Asbury, Jesse McCormick, the Asbury Park Music Foundation. Where's our camera? Oh, that camera. Yes. From the Asbury Park Music Foundation, this has been OneMore. I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. We'll see you next week. Good night.